Greetings from the Department of ECE. Welcome to module number 4. So in this module, we'll be learning about various logic styles available, and we'll be designing how to design various logics, various basic logic gates using each and every logic design style. So first, let us understand what are the various logic styles available, and then we'll design some basic gates and circuits using every logic design style. And finally, we'll be learning to design some basic adder and multiplier blocks. So these are the different logic styles that are available, and that there are many logic styles available. So in this unit, as per your syllabus, we'll be seeing some of those. We'll be analyzing what is CMOS static logic. This CMOS static you have already seen in switch level modeling. When you design the basic gates for switch level modeling, you use CMOS static logic, that is ratioless. You have ratioed as pseudo NMOS. So static circuits are designed using CMOS static logic, and the following three are switch logic, that is transmission gate, pass transistor. So a transmission gate and pass transistor itself can act as a tri-state, and tri-state, what is meant by tri-state, we'll be seeing in that also. And we have dynamic, that is for dynamic circuits or circuits involving uh, uh, value. When you go for combinational or when you go for static circuits, it is just a variable value. When you go for dynamic circuits, your register and your a value that is stored, okay, for a particular time period comes into picture. Okay, dynamic circuits can be designed using dynamic domino TSPC circuits with clock, okay, that is synchronous circuits. And you have separate, that is NORA, no race condition, and DCVS, differential cascade voltage switch logic. So before going into the logic design style, CMOS logic design style, which is very simple. Okay, so we'll be seeing how an NMOS and PMOS behave. When will an NMOS turn on? NMOS will turn on for a high value. Whenever I feed an NMOS with a logic 1 or a high value, my NMOS will turn on. To sustain an NMOS, to make NMOS remain in on condition, I should satisfy this rule, that is VGS is greater than VTM. Similarly, my PMOS will turn on for a lower value, that is 0. What should I do to sustain this PMOS in on condition? My VSG must be always greater than mod VTP. Why it is VSG? Because source is tied to VDD. Okay, so this will be taken as VSG, but here it is VGS. The reason is source is tied to ground, lower level. Okay, and here for a PMOS, threshold will be negative, so I'm considering mod of VTP. Okay, so this is the condition for sustaining your PMOS in on condition. Okay, NMOS will be in on, or it act like a closed switch when you give a high input. Okay, if it will be in off when it is low. Similarly, PMOS on when you give a low voltage, PMOS off when you give a high voltage. Okay, and in case of static logic and CMOS static logic design cell, you must understand that PMOS and NMOS cannot be on at the same time. Okay, it is not possible. That is, if you consider static any gate designed using static logic style, for the same input, both NMOS and PMOS cannot be in on condition. Okay, different inputs corresponding different NMOS and PMOS can be simultaneously on. Same input, if it is given to an NMOS and PMOS, both NMOS and PMOS will not be in on condition. It is not possible. Your input can either be 0 or 1. Okay, 0 means only PMOS will turn on. 1 means only NMOS will be turning on. And this is your circuit structure of your CMOS static logic. You have a pull-up network, you have a pull-down network. Pull-up network அப்படின்னா PMOS, pull-down network now NMOS. Why it is a pull-up network? Because it pulls up the output from via VDD. Why it is called as pull-down network? Because NMOS always drains all the voltages to ground. Okay, depending upon the logic, you are going to give the number of inputs and choose the number of transistors. If it is 2 input AND gate, in 1, in 2, and 2 PMOS will be here. If it is two input, yes, if it is two input AND gate, you will have two NMOS transistors over here. And your CMOS static logic, which is very basic one, it is a ratioless logic. Okay, there is no proper ratio that is sustained between this pull up and pull down network. No sizing ratio is maintained between pull up and pull down network. And if you uh, don't have any control parameter, okay, so why did I include this point is உங்களுக்கு வந்து சைசிங் யூஸ் பண்ணி உங்களால் ஒரு சில பேராமீட்டர்ஸை பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் பேராமீட்டர்ஸை கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண முடியும். இது வந்து சைசிங் ரேஷியோ இல்லாமல் டிசைன் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. ஸோ இன்ஸ்டெட் ஆஃப் கான்சென்ட்ரேட்டிங் ஆன் சைசிங் ரேஷியோ, மை பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் கேன் பி இம்ப்ரூவ்ட் பை எனி அதர் சேஞ்ச் ஆல்சோ. ஸோ ஹியர் I have mentioned that supply voltage scaling is one such possible way. Okay, and it has an N block and P block. So P block is pull up and N block is pull down network. Okay, so if your input is N, you have 2N number of transistors. That means if your input is 2, you have 4 transistors. If your input is 4, you have 8 transistors. Okay, and at any instant, you have the gates or the entire logic connected to either VDD or ground via a load resistance path. That is, your output is either 0 or 1. இல்லையா? 0 எப்படி கிடைக்கும்? உங்களுக்கு பாத் வந்து அவுட்புட்ல இருந்து கிரவுண்டுக்கு இருந்தால் தான் 0 கிடைக்கும். அதே மாதிரி 1 எப்படி கிடைக்கும்? VDDல இருந்து பாத் இருந்தால் தான் 1 கிடைக்கும். So at any point, at any instant, each gate output is connected to either VDD or ground. Only if you have path, low resistance path, ஏதாவது ஒரு PMOS NMOS ஆன் ஆயிருக்கும், அது வழியா உங்களுக்கு it will remain as a closed switch. So you have a path from VDD to output, or you have a path from output to ground via any transistor with respect to your logic. Okay, so at any steady state, you don't have both pull up network and pull down network. Entire pull up network and pull down network cannot conduct at the same time. And very important, you must understand that complementary MOS will always give a complementary output. It will not give a true output. Any design that is implemented in CMOS static logic will not give a true output. It will give only a complementary output. If you want a true output to be obtained, always add an inverter at the output terminal. So now we'll see ratioed logic, that is pseudo NMOS logic. So here I have replaced my pull-up network, that is PMOS circuitry, with a single PMOS connected to ground. That is, this PMOS will always be in on condition, that is in linear state. So this will act as a resistance or a load. Okay, and similar to your CMOS static logic, here I will have the NMOS transistors, that is pull-down network. Instead of using PMOS transistors, replace the entire network with a single PMOS transistor connected to ground. So what is the advantage, or what is different in case of CMOS static ratioed logic? So ratioed logic la, pseudo NMOS logic la, உங்களுக்கு வந்து you will maintain a proper sizing ratio between your pull up network and pull down network. அப்படின்னா உங்களோட single PMOSக்கும் கீழே இருக்கிற NMOS transistors-க்கும் you will maintain a sizing ratio, that is W/L ratio. Okay, so in the last unit you would have seen derivation NMOS inverter driven by another NMOS inverter. So based on that derivation, your ZPU by ZPD is chosen as 3/1. That is, W/L ratio of pull up network by W/L ratio of pull down network has to be 3/1. Okay, so ZPU is LPU by WPU. ZPD is the LPD by WPD. Okay, so what is the disadvantage here? Here now you consider this inverter itself. Suppose my input is 1 here, my NMOS will turn on, but my PMOS will be in always in on condition. So there is a path from VDD to ground. Okay, so you have a path from VDD to ground. So static state, at any static state, you have power moving from this VDD to ground. So static power consumption is more in case of pseudo NMOS logic. Okay, so here you have seen a 4 input AND gate designed using pseudo NMOS logic. Advantages, you have minimum number of transistors. So in case of CMOS static logic, this is the basic inverter. You have this truth table. Okay, so whenever you have a 1, NMOS turns on, PMOS will remain in off condition. So PMOS will remain in off condition. So you have path from, this is on, so this is acting as a closed switch, path from V out to ground. Even if there is some minimum voltage present here, everything will move from output to ground. Okay, so what happens when you give a 0? Your PMOS will turn on. Okay, so this will be in, on condition. Okay, so this will be in on condition. You have a path from VDD to output, so you have a higher output, that is 1. Similarly, let us understand what happens in AND, that is NAND. Okay, so we have seen a complementary MOS static logic will always be used for implementing a complementary output. Here I'll get only NAND. If I want to AND, I have to add an inverter here. Fine. So let me check what happens when I give a 0 0. Okay, so here also it is 0, here it is 0, here it is 0, here it is 0. PMOS turns on for a 0. So this, you have a path from VDD to output. Here also you have a path from VDD to output. So my output is 1. Okay. Next combination is 0 and 1. So A is 0. Okay. Here also A I have given a 0. B is 1. Here it is 1. Here it is 1. Okay. So if it is 1, this transistor will turn on. This transistor will turn off. Okay. What about here? Here I have my B as 1, A as 0. Okay, so my A transistor will turn on. Okay, so now here I have a path from VDD to output. Again, my output is 1. Why here I don't have any draining of output? This transistor is in off condition. So இது வந்து close switch act பண்ணாது, open switch இருக்கும். இங்க இருந்து இந்த நோடு வரைக்கும் வரதுக்கு there is no path, but this transistor is in on condition. Okay, so even though this is on, this is in off condition, so you don't have path from output to VSS. Okay, so now next let me analyze. Okay, next I have 1 and 0. A is 1, B is 0. A is 1, B is 0. Okay, so what happens when my A is 1 and B is 0? This transistor is in on condition. This transistor is in on condition. Similarly, here I have a path from VDD to output, so the output is high. I have obtained. Here, practically speaking, my 1 will not be obtained as output. You have little degradation in your output, practically speaking. The reason is this transistor is a non-condition. So if it is 5 volt, at least 1 volt will have a will be leaked out of this node till this point. Okay, only till this point, because again B transistor is a open switch. It will not move any voltage from here. Okay, so finally, what happens when both are 1? So if both are 1, obviously both the PMOS will remain in off condition, both the NMOS will remain in on condition. Whatever nodal voltage present at this node is moving to ground. Okay, so one of the basic things you must remember is, whenever I want to design a dot product A dot B. Okay, so AB is not possible, AB bar is possible in case of complementary MOS static logic design. But hope you know the basics. If you wanted to design if you want to design A dot B, then NMOS has to be in series and PMOS has to be in parallel, and vice versa for OR gate. So you can see this OR gate, your PMOS is in series and NMOS is in parallel. So now let us check to the truth table for this also. Okay, now first combination. A is 0, B is 0. Okay, so both the zeros will turn on my both PMOS. Both of this will remain in off condition. So you have a path from supply to output. My output is 1. What about my next combination? A is 0, B is 1. Okay, so if B is 1, A is 0, so this remains in on condition. B is 1, so you have this transistor as an on condition. Okay, so here you have NMOS in parallel. So from your output node there is path to ground. So across Y this transistor is closed, so you have a path to ground. So 0 is obtained. Similarly, when you see this PMOS, they are in series. இது ஆன்ல இருந்தாலும் இது ஆஃப்ல இருக்கும். அப்போ VDD வந்து இங்க இருந்து இது வரைக்கும் தான் வர முடியும். After this, you have a open switch. You cannot pass the high voltage. Okay. Likewise, what happens when you give a 1 and 0? So you have 1 and 0. Okay. So this will remain in on condition. Again, off condition. A will turn on a transistor, so this will remain in on condition. This will remain in off. So since the NMOS is in parallel, if any one of the NMOS is in conducting state, remove the voltage that is available at output node to ground. So again 0. Okay. So what happens when both are 1? If you have 1 and both, you make your both NMOS to turn on, and your PMOS will, both the PMOS will remain in off condition. Okay, so both the PMOS in off condition, both the NMOS in on condition, all the voltage present at the output will move to ground. We will see some of the advantages and disadvantages. So one of the main advantages, low static power consumption and good noise margin. Okay, so why good noise margin? So we have already you would have already learned what is noise margin. You would have learned what is VIL, VIH, VOH, VOL. In case of static CMOS static logic, VOH and VOL. Okay, so VOH is nothing but that is voltage output high. Okay, the minimum value of high voltage will be always ideally equal to VDD, and VOL will be ideally equal to 0. So this minor degradation only happens in case of practical analysis. Okay, so the noise margin will be very good, and a low static power consumption. When compared to ratioed logic, you have very less static power consumption because you don't have a path from VDD to ground at any instant. You will not have direct path from supply to ground. Whenever you have direct path from supply to ground, when any input is forced, that is static power consumption. Okay, but here in this case, you don't have any such condition, and it is fast and it is easy to design. Okay, but what is the disadvantage? More number of transistors. So this disadvantage you can justify when you learn about all the logic styles. You can when you learn about dynamic, domino, and when you go for other logic design steps, you will understand that CMOS is taking more number of transistors. So that's all about your CMOS static logic.